Well, Anthony Albanese has held formal talks with China's President Xi Jinping at the G20 summit. It was the first formal bilateral meeting between an Australian leader and the Chinese president since Malcolm Turnbull was Prime Minister in 2016. Our political editor, Andrew Clennell, has been travelling with the Prime Minister and filed this report from Bali.
It lasted just 32 minutes, but Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said his historic meeting with the Chinese president on Tuesday night can lead to positive outcomes for Australia. President Xi Jinping, in his opening remarks at the meeting, said Australia and China had differences, but he welcomed comments from Mr Albanese about Australia wanting a mature relationship with his country. Mr Albanese told the Chinese president that Australia wanted a constructive relationship but would not resolve from its position on certain matters.
It comes at a time of great global uncertainty. We're facing challenges of COVID and the recovery, dealing with climate change and also supply chain shocks. As we manage these challenges, we need to work towards a stable, prosperous and peaceful Indo-Pacific.
The Australian Prime Minister raised the need for China to act on climate change, to not invade Taiwan, to lift trade sanctions on Australia and to release Australian prisoners in the wide-ranging discussion.
I put forward Australia's position when it comes to the blockages in our trading relationship. I put forward the differences that we have on human rights issues, including Xinjiang. I put forward specifically as well the cases of Cheng Lei and Dr Yong, and I also put forward our position on Ukraine.
Did you raise issues of climate change, cybersecurity, foreign interference, Taiwan, and any actions on any of those matters you wanted from China?
I certainly raised climate change and the need for us to work together. On Taiwan, I certainly raised that issue. I put Australia's position, which is support for the status quo.
Mr Albanese said it was not the nature of these meetings to expect immediate outcomes.
You shouldn't expect, or even with respect, expect that you have a meeting like that and we put forward a position and they come up with a conclusion. That's simply not the way that the system works.
The Prime Minister also said he urged President Xi to intervene with Russia on the Ukraine war, pointing out it was hurting Australians in terms of more expensive power bills.
I pointed out that the war in Ukraine was having an impact on the global economy and directly having an impact, which it is, on Australian energy prices and inflation.
The Prime Minister denied that the fact the meeting lasted just 32 minutes compared to 3 hours President Xi had with US President Joe Biden on Monday night was a cause for concern. After 6 years of Australia being in the deep freeze with the Chinese leadership, the PM made it clear he now expects dialogue with the Asian superpower to continue.